Well, welcome to the Power of the Tribe. Welcome home 220. It is my pleasure today to introduce a man who empowers others to be heroes for their loved ones suffering from depression and shed light on the subject of suicide. Author of Tightrope, Meet God at the Door, the Book of Context, and a musician, a mathematical genius, scientist, and just really courageous, inspirational leader that I'm absolutely thrilled to be having here today. I would like to introduce Kellan Fluckiger. Welcome, Kellan. How are you?
I'm great, thank you, and you did really well. The last name, is always fun. I had a program I was a keynote on, and it was put on by a friend of mine. It was a 3-day program, and I was the main attraction, and he left the L out of my last name on the program. So for 3 days, he got to apologize, and I got to make jokes, so we were all good.
It could go really sideways really quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're here today to celebrate inspirational leaders, and I'm thrilled that absolutely you are someone very present in that space. So what is your secret to living life to the fullest, connecting with others, and having some fun?
Fantastic. Was that a question?
Yes, that was a question.
All right, do it again. Question is what?
So what's your secret to living life to the fullest with connection and zest?
So my secret, I have some. Some people say there is no secret. There is. The first secret is to understand that you have infinite, and I'm talking to the people that your audience, you have infinite capability. We live in a place where we blame things outside of ourselves, our circumstances or our upbringing or the economy or God or the government or whatever. And so because of that, we limit what we believe we can have or do or be. And so the first secret is getting rid of that barrier. Because as an infinite creative person, you have the ability to create anything you want. And so that's the first secret. Get rid of the idea that you're limited in any way. The second secret is decide what you're trying to do. Sometimes we live at random and we just do whatever shows up. And that can be fun, but it isn't very productive over the long term. At least I haven't found it to be that way because I get scattered and I go here and there. And so when I finally realized that I've had a long career as an executive and this and that and the other, 10 years ago, I realized that my gifts are best used serving others, helping them understand and manifest their own, discover, develop, and manifest their divine nature and gifts is the way I say that. And my own, I'm a creative, I record and I do a bunch of other things, music and a bunch of things that you said. But doing that is simply my creativity. My mission is to help others discover what they want, can have, and to do. And so second secret, number one, understand you don't have limits. Number two, make some choices. Some people, I have a funny saying, clarity is overrated. It is not found, it is created. Because some people say, I'm not clear yet about what I want to do. And like clarity is going to be something you dig up in the backyard. It's not. You create clarity by acting, by doing things. So making those choices. And the third and last secret is do it every day. Prepare intentionally. I have a morning ritual I do in the morning. I prepare myself every morning to be that person, to be what I've decided to be and to do that. And because I do that, then I'm prepared and I make the most out of every day. So those are my 3 secrets.
I love that. So you're absolutely talking about shifting and following your passion, but then but get to be it.
Yes. You make some choices and then you do it and you don't. Sometimes things don't go like you want. It goes slower. Mistakes happen, sidetracks, setbacks. Every athlete, every performer, every musician, everybody has that. The question is, then what? Right? Then what? What are you going to do next? Okay, that didn't work. You can go hide under the bed for a year or a month or a minute, and then you can do something about it, and then do that.
The whole thing, and part of your mission when it comes to empowering others with even shedding light on the whole topic of depression and suicide, is that life is messy, and that's okay.
It's very okay. I wrote the book Tightrope of Depression. It's the first of a trilogy. The second volume is called Down from the Gallows, and that's coming out this come September. And I named it Down from the Gallows in keeping with the rope theme, right? Tightrope. But I had a upbringing that had a lot of violence in it, a lot of stuff that today would be felony child abuse. And it affected me. It affected me profoundly, like those kinds of things do. I started experimenting with drugs as an escape at a very young age, in like 7th grade, and went on. And despite that, I was desperate to prove myself to my mom, particularly, and did a lot of things to make a lot of money and to prove that I was okay, needing that external validation. I went through that whole thing, and every time anything was wrong, it was my fault. And so just ruined my life and relationships and all kinds of stuff, and never talked to anyone. So I went through this whole cycle of ups and downs that are typical of depression for decades, and never talked to anybody. And I say all that because one of my prime tenets is it's never too late, no matter what has come before. It's never too late to matter and to make a big impact as you choose to live your own purpose, divine purpose.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Tightrope and Down from the Gallows, and I can't wait for it to come out. So my audience is female entrepreneurs, which many are moms, and for someone that is facing depression, or someone that's looking on and seeing it, what's the, again, we don't talk about this. That's why I'm so thrilled that with your work, what is, even to begin the conversation, what does that look like?
Well, one of the things that I certainly struggled with that you hear a lot about is the stigma, the suck it up. If you just do this better, do that better, there's something wrong with you. Like, looking in the mirror and believing that you suck. That was sort of the prime directive of a lot of my life. Everything that was wrong was my fault. If I could just do this better or that better. And if you're talking about moms, whether they're married or single, and whether they have regular kids or kids that struggle or kids with special needs, or all of those things give rise to if I could just do more. Oh, I'm overwhelmed. If I could just, and the outcome of that sort of train of discussion is I'm inadequate. I'm not enough. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. And that's not true. It's just not true. There's no question. I don't do everything I imagine in a year I'm going to do. So we're just finishing 2019. If I look back at what I thought I was going to get done this year, I didn't do a third of what I thought I was going to do this year, but I'm thrilled out of my mind with what I did. And I'm looking at 2020 and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this and this and this. And I know in December 30th of 2020, I'm going to only do a third of that. And that's okay. Just keep moving. And here's the key to doing that. If I create the world in my head that says, if I don't do this pile, something's wrong with me, then I'm always going to be carrying rocks of disappointment. I'm always going to be behind the 8 ball if I make it about I'm bad if I don't. So that's just not true. It's always just a game. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can make happen. Because those external benchmarks, you have to get this done and you have to get that done. And the unspoken thing is, or else you aren't good enough. You are inadequate. You failed. Those things are what we imagine, right? There's no governing body that says, therefore you're an inadequate person. That's a burden we put on ourselves. And I had to learn the hard way to get rid of that. It's not true. And instead just own each thing that I'm able to do as a delightful, great blessing. This is what I got to do. I have this to do, not I have to do this. And so changing that framework from I'm bad if I don't finish all these things to, here's the list. Let me see what I can do. Let's see what we can get done today. And then choosing to be happy about that, even with the setbacks and the detours and the learning moments and the failures and the people that get in your way and all that kind of stuff. That's just kind of how life is. So change it to a game and see what you can get done.
I love that. Thank you. The whole you're worthy and it's good enough.
It is good. You know what? It's more than good enough. It is who you are. And everything that I've been through, all the struggle and trouble, I wouldn't trade it for anything, because it has brought me, even the mistakes. I mean, I have 10 children, and some of my children don't talk to me. I don't have good relationships with some of them. So that means there's work to do. I lived for a long time blaming myself in anger. If I had just done this and I had just done that, and that led to further depression and drinking and other kinds of stuff. It's just not true. Number one, I don't even know that that's true. We assume, well, if I'd done this, then things would have been perfect. And you don't know that anyway. That's nonsense. But the second thing is, I still have time. I am alive. They are alive. They're making choices. I'm making choices. I'm available. I reach out. I do things to make the best that I can out of it and to move forward happily. Because what good am I to me or anybody else if I walk around, I suck, I can't, I didn't, I failed. If I live like that, what good am I?
So, okay, so we're going to tag along on that a little bit. So again, you've already given so much outward focus and gifts to the world by being you and the message that you deliver. So with the big picture, so if they were to say, what is your message for the world, what would it be, Kellan?
My message for your audience, those glorious women who are entrepreneurs, who are trying to make a difference, is that entrepreneurship is the heartbeat and backbone of society. You have something valuable to give. If you feel depressed and sad, it's normal. If you notice that in some of your kids, it's simply these external influences affecting them. The answer that I wish I'd had was love and acceptance. And I didn't have any of that. And so I lived in silence and quiet. So if you see it in your kids, love them, talk to them, encourage them. If you see it in yourself, speak up, get some help. Don't be afraid. There is no stigma. It's no different than having a cold or anything else that we have. We love ourselves and we love each other, and we move forward one day at a time. We accomplish what we do, and your desire to be a good mom, an entrepreneur, a business owner is divine, and you are capable, and don't quit.
Love that. Okay, so I know some of it, but okay, so we are rolling into not only a new year, but a new decade. What's in store? Tell us all of the amazing things that are coming out.
You mean in the world or my stuff?
For you, your stuff. I want to hear about your stuff.
I've got 3 books that are coming out next year. I've got 2 albums of music that are original. It's written to go with The Tightrope of Depression and Down from the Gallows. The Tightrope of Depression book, the album's called The Name of the Black, and the songs are identifying with all of the sadness and hurt. The other album's called Promise and Power, which is songs of empowerment and capability. And that's the album that goes with Down from the Gallows. Both of the albums are done, meaning all the songs are written and they're recorded. I have some technical work in the studio, mixing and mastering and some other things to do in the next 6 weeks. And then those songs will start coming out one at a time. Down from the Gallows will be published in probably September. So that's coming out. I have another book coming out. The one in February is called Walking Without Fear, which is a part of the experience that I had meeting God at the door. I had a near-death experience in 2018, last year. So some books have come out from that, and Walking Without Fear is one of them. So that's anyone that wants to see and participate real time in what Kellan does. My Facebook page is the place to do that. I do a lot of Facebook Lives and I share a lot of stuff there. And so if that interests you, I talk a lot about what's possible, and there's a place to do that. And I'll be making announcements about things that are coming out on that page also.
Okay, we'll definitely put some of the links up and stuff. So when it comes to, and I think this is just so fabulous, the layering, and let me know if I'm correct in saying that the layering of the music and the books very much, they go hand in hand and they complement one another.
They do, and it's my expression of creativity, music and writing. I speak, I write, and I do music. Other people do other things. And whatever yours are, trust them, capitalize on them, do them. Mine happened to be writing music and writing books and speaking and coaching. That's what I do. But what you do is whatever that is, and it's just as important and just as powerful and needs to be heard and seen.
Okay, I'm looking forward to really. So, what genre is the music, or? I mean, I don't want to put anything in a box, nor a person.
That's okay. I've done all kinds of stuff. I've done electronic dance music. I've done new age meditation music. My first 5 books were on meditation. That's all past stuff. The 2 albums coming out are all in the genre of pop, meaning they have music and words and lyrics, and they're 3 to 4 minutes long, sung, stuff like that. So there'll be 11 songs on each album, and they all tell a story. So the lyrics have meaning, and they're about, and I say pop only because it's the 3 to 5, 3 to 4.5 minute thing. And so pop, folk, whatever that is, that tells a story that's relevant to those topics. So that's what they are.
I'm so excited. So, okay. Also, besides Facebook, where else can people find your music? I mean, things have changed a little bit.
Okay, Amazon. If you put my name in on Amazon, I've got tons of music on Amazon, several albums, books. So just Amazon, and then put Kellan Fluckiger, and you do need to spell it right. And if you spell it right, stuff comes up. And if you want to communicate with me, send me a friend request on Facebook. I use Facebook Messenger a lot. I'm pretty easy to find if you want to chat.
Listen, I have to say, you're fabulous. You really are. We started out with before we started recording. I think you're amazing. I think you're courageous and so creative and just an inspirational leader. And I'm so thrilled that I was able to share your gift with my audience. So Happy New Year. Okay, so we will be doing what's called the Welcome Home 220, and we will be having virtual connective activities, cooking together, book reading. Will you come back and play in the house?
I would love to. Okay. One of the things I'm working on right now is turning some of the books that I have into Audible, because I have done narrations and I have spoken a lot. I have been told I have a good voice and narrate well and read well and stuff. So I'm going to read them myself, and I have 2 of them done. They're just not edited yet. And so I'm doing that. That's another thing you asked, what's coming. Audible versions of books are coming also. Okay, great. It's going to be, it gets to be an amazing decade, 2020. Some say, a flashback to the roaring 20s. We're going to make it our own. I
I'm so thrilled that I get to now call you a friend, and I'm really looking forward to continuing to just see what you keep giving to this world. So thank you.
You're
Happy
welcome,
New
and I'm
Year.
happy to do it. And if there's anything else I can do for you or your audience, I'm pretty WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. My mission's pretty clear, and so I'm happy to help.
Okay. Happy New Year. And yes, great wishes with all of the exciting things coming on. And I can't wait to get hold of some of the music. So, yes, to be continued. Keep up the
Thank you.
great work. Thank you.
Thank you.